drums, I got bands. Same ones that was hating, buying tickets, now they fans. Call a blitz.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them. When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
So just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. A big play there for Cincinnati.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one, and there's an example on this first possession of the game.
Mixon with a first down carry. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From the gun to give to Mixon. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Mixon is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
They run for it with Mixon. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll try the right side with Harris. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. They'll set up a throw. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. Here's Presley Harvin now. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. After 7-0 on EA Sports. So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. This is caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0 the score as they regroup with 1st and 10. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
40 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's first and 10.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw.
Hitting Juju on the slant. And the Steelers are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Back to throw here. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Harris is into the end zone for a Steeler touchdown.
People always talk about one of his biggest strengths running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that. It wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. On first down, Mixon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed.
Back to Mixon on second down.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert.
Open man is Chase, complete.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme.
and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Herbert off of play action. Rush coming, and he's taken down. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
73 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Play action. It's Herbert.
Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted.
Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And now off to the races down the right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. So they had a good drive going, a chance to build on this first half lead, but now you kind of feel like we got a new ball game.
And you wonder what the discussion will be now at halftime, because I think we were headed towards one. Now it's a different discussion altogether. One side optimistically, the other side wondering what could have been.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Well, they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
2nd and 5.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert.
He's going to have the hook up here to Chase.
And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon.
And he's got a Bengals first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now here's another carry for Harris. He can't get him down. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
That swung out wide to Harris.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right. And after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 43. Looking to throw.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off near the 29. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
There on the tackle, Minkah Fitzpatrick.
2nd and 6.
Once again, they run with Mixon. Oh, fighting off the defender. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
117 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Herbert on 1st down now.
That is caught. Rashad Bateman.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. A handoff to Mixon. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. Touchdown! T.J. Hockenson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals have taken the lead.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead is now 21-14.
Steelers, 14.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Flush, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53.
They'll drop to throw. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
And the Bengals are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
They set themselves behind the chains, trying to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Jonah Williams, former first-round pick, the guilty party.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Here's Herbert. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual.
He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A big play that time through the air. 36 yards. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And the Bengals are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Flushed out right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Now Joe Mixon, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Herbert. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown.
Rashad Bateman,
his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Bengals might be headed to the win column for the first time this season as they add on to their lead. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
4 yards remain for second down.
They're going to look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. It's brought in by Harris. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play cornerback in this league, and he does a terrific job there of hustling in quickly to make the play.
Now a first down carry for Harris, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now a throw here to his running back. Shifts past him at the 45. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. What a throw right there for the first down. He has taken some real punishment in this game, but still standing in the pocket completing that one.
He's a flat-out warrior. There's no question about that. How about him stepping up into the teeth of the rush and delivering there for that big strike and that big pickup.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 30. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Get in the right room. Check. 53 smart. Check. 53 smart. All day, baby. All day. All day. All day.
They'll run on first down. Harris. Taron Johnson made the stop.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Bengals will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Well, obviously, Charles, this stage of the game, down 2 scores, they had to put the football in the air. Unfortunately, it gets picked off.
And the criticism comes easily in situations like this, but you just laid it out. Look where they are on the scoreboard. Look at where the clock is in the game. He has to take a chance here and try and get the ball downfield to his receivers. Unfortunately, it was picked off.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Number 16's coming. Check mark. Check mark. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
They'll stay on the ground, mixing again. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
On third down, Mixon. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 148 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last point of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Cincinnati, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings.